Okay, live. Okay, this here. Here. Yo, Hans, how's it going? Yo, Kenny, how's it going? This at F live on forum. Okay. Yo, how are you guys? Yo, yo, Holy Decay, how's it going? Okay, working, dying, how are you? I'm good. Look at how much funny that's look at all this stuff over here. I'm good. Happy the show is kind of over. Um uh I'm writing a book, dude. Pretty crazy. Yo, Vanessa, how's it going? She killed it. Oh, yeah, you know what's a bummer about it? How's it going, Abby? I mean, I'm respectful to the. I mean, I'm always respectful to the place, but like we should have just did whatever we wanted. We shouldn't have talked about AI. I mean, it was fine, for our first time up on stage. I think we were great. You know what I mean? Like we were like I'm not. There's no critiques, even though I have a tendency to always critique. But I'm like, the dude just basically took. He saw a video and then basically just wanted he didn't know what to ask for. So he was just like, I think he was kind of like, oh, let's keep it in the theme of more. And he liked this AI video. So he's just like AI more. And I'm like, I like, and so we kept it going, How's it going, Ashley? How's it going, Valley Girl? So I was just like, oh yeah, sure. Like this is what you're looking for. And obviously there's going to be people who are doing that same thing. But then when I saw the people up on stage and they kind of just did whatever they wanted, I'm just like, we should have just did whatever we wanted. Granted, guidelines are kind of good to kind of like set in order to become creative within. A blank page is just really vast. But if we just kind of kept on bullshitting, it would have been the best. How's it going, Aiden? AI talk was actually entertaining. I heard the audience. Yeah. Oh, awesome. I mean, well, it's funny too. We talked to a few people. It was also funny. I talked to a few people. Like it's like I'm never rude. I mean, if anything, if I would ever be rude, I'd be silent in a way, even though I'd be silent kind of anyways. But like, there's a few people who, like, straight up, there's someone who asked me who's just like, how do I know you? And we've been in the same room together quite a bit, and he's famous, I guess. And I'm like, oh my God, interesting. It's just like now I exist because like we were up on stage in some way. And then one of the people were like, dude, we heard the crowd laughing from the green room, which was under the stage, So it was like it traveled, And again, I'm not over here being like, oh my God, we killed it. But it was funny because they were like, oh, you're like real or something, because no one really saw us in that regard, But wait up, on a walkabout downtown LA, can't listen much, getting some food, just so we could meet up maybe tomorrow afternoon, the Grove. That I don't know. I gotta direct the video. I don't know what mom's up to though. We'll see what's up with her when she comes back. But yeah, so it's also, yeah, we're gonna stream whenever she gets home. I don't know what she's doing. But fucking hilarious mom going, what do you mean wrap it up? Oh my God. Yeah. Well, also one thing I wanted to fucking kind of wring her neck a bit, but you didn't hear it, but she was like, oh, she said, she's like, oh my God, what do you mean wrap it up? And then like right after that, she was just like, oh, I'm not a comedian. And I'm like, just don't go out of your way to kind of like point something out that could be kind of a negative to your own self in any way, where it's just like, just whatever, And it's funny, okay, yeah. I'm just here because I'm really just, kind of holding myself accountable to this thing, to this book. Also, I'm going to kind of figure out what to do. Does anyone here read any Substacks? I'm going to start a Substack. I'm going to come here and just kind of bullshit, but I think that this is going to kind of go over there. Not really, but that's going to be like a little more fleshed out. But I have a meeting. I read some. Okay, tell me what's up. What do you do? Not what do you do, but like what kind of stuff do they post? How do they post? Is it kind of like, not shit posting, obviously, but I saw a few things the other day and it was just like paragraph, an image, paragraph, a video, paragraph. Are they working towards something? Is it the end all just to kind of be there? What is behind the paywall? Because I have a meeting, I have a phone call with Rosebud Baker tomorrow. And I was like, yo, I want to talk about your publisher. She was just like, down, no problem. Also, Young Me's on board. And she's, oh my God. I don't think this is really gonna go anywhere in terms of like, wouldn't hurt her. But actually, never mind. It's gonna get canned anyhow. She sent me a proposal that she did for something that she's gonna can, and it was the best thing. I was there. I mean, she killed it. But anyhow, she's so good at what she does, and she's like, I'll totally help, whatever. And I'm like, this is good. There's a lot of people on board who I like legitimately just so deeply respect, and I fuck with so hard. The ones I read are weekly, and they're like blog posts. It's the best way to, I can't explain it, like fancy blog post. You did do a good job on keeping her focused in tasks, though. Thank you so much, Roykid. You're always, thank you very much. Always lifting me up. But fancy blog posts. Well, the thing is it fancy blog posts about just kind of anything or what's going on in their lives for the week, or is it kind of specific towards something? Because I think I kind of want to do the journey of the book, which I think is just going to be kind of, I don't think people find it to be crazy, but I think that if someone were to understand my story, it's kind of fucking nuts. Like they're just their thoughts on what's going on in their current happenings. Oh my God. So I'm thinking I'm going to be doing this. I was thinking the journal of the book would be good for you. Well, also, I was saying this to myself today, which again, I think is kind of nuts fully, but we went to a birthday party yesterday and kind of just noticed that like, I wasn't ripping on mom, even though I kind of was, but really, which I feel so lucky and like kind of like, I don't know if blessed is the right word, but kind of blessed that like there's with the two of us, there's this laughter ensues, you know what I mean? And that was never anything that was in the cards. I never thought, mom never thought any of this stuff ever at all. I never thought humor would be a thing that would be in our lives in a serious manner. And mom was talking shit. I was talking shit. And people came around and they were hanging out. And I was like, oh, we did a show. And no one was like, oh, crazy. Like, that's weird. You know, it's just like so normal. And I was just thinking about maybe, or actually doing stand-up. Not because I want to and not because I think I'm funny at all, but I'm like, okay, I think bombing will probably help with anyone's to humility, as well as if I'm writing something, and because I think that the book should be funny, period. If I'm writing something that has any legs, how is it not stand-up? You know what I mean? How is it not? I mean, it's like I'd want it to be kind of poignant to our lives, but like when I was just talking about mom, being unruly. I mean, the other day she was talking about how she lived her life in the back seat because of her kids. And I'm like, if you're trying to tell me that you're not in the fucking front seat, and we were going back and forth and she was really yelling at me and I was yelling at her about, of course she's in the fucking front seat. There's no back seat with her at all. But she was just basically talking about kind of like money and spending money, and she doesn't spend any money on herself. And I'm just like, oh yeah, like you don't want anything. And then she was just like, yeah, I know. I just wanted to piss you off. And I'm like, oh my God, like you're literally in front of people that are essentially strangers, but they know who we are, but we don't know them. And you're fucking throwing me under the bus. And I'm like, that is funny. You know, yeah, for sure. You know, it's just like the second I see something funny, even if it's at my expense, I'll laugh and I'll respect it. Lily does not recognize how funny she is at all. No, not at all. 0%. 0%. Like 0%. You literally referred to yourself as Lily Hayes' son. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's my government name. Oh, that's also my name on Substack, I think. But it's also weird because, okay, so I really started taking this seriously and just kind of like writing down chapter names and kind of like trying to figure out how to connect dots. Because I'm like, how the fuck does someone write a book? And I've been thinking about my dad a lot because he's kind of like he's such a big part of the story. Like, because I'm also thinking I want mom to write some stuff, but a lot of it is like if mom writes about the forest and mom writes about art, let's just say, it would just be a matter of like trying to suggest confidence to someone that I think would be beneficial no matter what. And I've mentioned it a million times over. I could if I could sit around and I could like get something down, I could reduce it to the lowest common denominator and like I can give you a bar. But mom will say something that's completely off, but it's a million times better. Because it's like the way her delivery, everything. It's like she has it, you know? And so the thing is, I was also thinking like, okay, in my mind, it's just like, again, I'm over here fucking, my shit is a million miles per hour. So I'm like, oh, no. I don't want to write a book. I want to write 2 books. I want mom to write something, but it's not going to be the book of her life, but it'll be like the Lilyisms, you know, like the like 48 laws of power. It'd be like 48 laws of Lily or some shit, you know, some bullshit like that. And so I think if it's just like her riffing off of a topic, then she'll nail it. But I think that her story is gnarly, but it's kind of boring. Not that it's boring, but it's like she got married, like she was born, her parents were like cool. Obviously, I'm reducing this to I'm just you know. I mean, it's a life. Obviously, it's complex, you know. But born, didn't fuck with her parents too much, even though, you know, there's love there, of course. Fucked with her grandparents. Her grandfather was the only person she gave a shit about for the most part. Got married, didn't think anything. Literally, again, it's like it's hard to understand. It's literally hard to fathom. But it's also, again, like I'm saying, like fast forwarding years because she was just like, her parents were just like, you're gonna be someone's wife. That's it. It's also like old world shit, you know what I mean? This is like the fucking 50s, you know? And then gets married and is like, okay, cool. Like, that's my life. This is it. Like, I'm just gonna fucking raise a kid. That's it. And then dude fucking gambles, loses the money. Mom's like, fucking get out of my face. That's where it happens. That's the moment. That's like the eureka. But again, this is also, she's an adult by this point. She really is an adult. You know, she's working like a juice, like not even a juice stand. It was just like one little juice machine. And she used to do this all day. That was it. Who's going to ask her those questions? I think that with me kind of going back and forth with her right now, I think I could kind of figure out the questions to ask. Because I know the bars, even in some of the books that I have here, I know the bars, like the Joe DiMaggio track list, she could go and nail it. And wait, it's crazy because same up until being married. My grandpa, only family member. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. And again, I didn't even get it because realistically, I've said this forever, that like, I don't even feel like I'm a part of my family. I feel like I'm my parents' kid. That's it. So it's yeah, I mean, it was the same thing with her, you know? So anyhow, has also like, you know, like, what is it? Like Confucius says, like, we all live 2 lives. Everyone has 2 lives. And the second one starts when they realize they only have one. I think that was her getting divorced. First time over, and not divorce, her just being like, hey, listen. And I think that like that created the monster, if you will, that is mom. Then when she came to America, she went to work, wanted to get a green card. And that's when kind of the fun starts. But the fun starts just because of my father. That's really what it is. Like mom never went to the movies. She never went out. It almost seems crazy to the point where it's like, obviously not, but it's like, it almost seems like slavery to work. You know what I mean? It's just like, she just was like, I have a kid. I need to keep it alive, straight up, you know? And that's cool for sure. But it's like, she would just be like, what do you mean? Like, do work, go to work. Like that'd be her story, you know? Until my dad comes around and then he gets silly. And then she's kind of like the bad cop, you know? So the thing is, I was thinking when mom kept deepening you and asking you questions. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we could figure out a thing where if we go, if I'm able to kind of like talk to mom backstage and then we can kind of get warmed up and then we're on stage real quick and we just kind of go, we could totally do this, which is also just crazy to think because it's like another new life, you know? But so the thing was, I was just even thinking about kind of like I was thinking about the green card story. And I was kind of thinking about angles in order to kind of like write from my perspective and in a way where it's just like, of course, it's kind of going to be mom's story, but there's going to be a lot of dad. This is kind of why mom is mom. This is truth. And then kind of like, they didn't raise me. I honestly raised myself and what I learned from their kind of bickering. And so again, long story short, with the green card, which is obviously such an amazing story where it's just like, okay, they get married. She offers him money. He doesn't take it. They fall in love. It's real. They go to, they have separate interviews. Then they interview together. And then obviously we're going to make this juicy because it's fun and it's the truth. Very real. The dude was just like, oh yeah, like, who's this woman to you? And my dad says, I've never seen this woman in my life. And my mom lost her mind for a minute. And then everything was fine, obviously. But my whole life, until I basically explained it to her, was her saying, don't trust anyone. Even in like the heaviest of moments, like you can't trust anyone. Like I couldn't trust your father. Granted, he wasn't my father yet. And they were just they didn't know each other for too long, romantically, I guess. So she's kind of, trusting a stranger, but she took a leap of faith. She really did trust a stranger. Now, she was just like, don't trust anyone. My dad was like, there's always room for humor. There's never a time that's too heavy for humor. And I kind of realized like the truth doesn't fear fucking trial. It was like no one is fucking joking around about that shit if they're not in a serious relationship. He nailed it. He fucking nailed it. I bet you she was shitting bricks. And he was just like, what do you mean, man? That's my fucking wife. Like let's move on, And I'm sure it really helped out. And so I think that even in telling those stories, because my mom would only say it one-sided and she wouldn't say it in a funny way because she was fully terrified. Which I'm like, oh yeah, this might not be the funnest from her angle. Cause like also it's like such she's so lucky in the fact that like, dude, it's really hard when someone, especially when you're at a certain age, when someone's just like, what's the best time in your life? And they're like, now, and she means it, which is just fucking nuts, dude. It's, it's pretty, okay. But honestly, this will be cathartic for you because she was a true immigrant mother, but the second half of her life, she ended up being what children of immigrant parents. Yeah, I think so too. And I also think that like, like even, I think about the Force a lot, because it's like also like right now, especially with this and this channel, like I'm like really just like kind of like throwing up. I was thinking about Short Kitten and I was thinking about Christmas, and one of the chapters has to be about Christmas. And I think that, again, like I think that as opposed to it being, because I feel like someone might probably feel bamboozled if they look at a book with mom's face on it and it's a book from me as opposed to like her story, even though I do believe that it would be a better, she'd be the first to be like, well, also it's crazy because even I want there to be moments where I'm like, we're different parents and we're different kids. And from what I've got, like from what I've given her, like mom, you tell me what you think about and fill in the blank and whatever she says, because she wasn't thinking this way beforehand. And even the fact that like she's loosening up and expanding, it's insane. I mean, as like an older person, that doesn't happen often, you know? And so, so the thing is, I'm like, okay, well, I also want to make it good to the point where like, even if you feel bamboozled, like if you're in it, like you'll hear a story, like you'll hear bars and you'll get it. Like you'll get value from the thing. So I was just thinking about earlier today, I was thinking about Christmas and that's a new tradition, you know, like we didn't celebrate Christmas. Also, I was thinking, which again is fucking hella funny to me. I have a little recorder. I have a little recorder thing. And I used to record on my phone, but I like to listen to music. So I go like this all day or for an hour or two a day. And then I have headphones on. But so Christmas, the first Christmas or the last Christmas I remember, I mean like the first Christmas I remember really, I was like, yo man, oh my God. Like I woke up in the morning, my dad set up everything. And I was like, dude, I got like a fucking Fisher Price basketball set. And then I got a fucking CD player. And I was like, dude, mom, I got a CD player. And she's just like, you think fucking Santa got that? Fucking I bought that for you. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I got a CD player. And I was like, I don't care. But I mean, that's pretty fucking funny. Like telling a kid, because like I was saying the other day on the stream, I'm like, I don't care about when you realized when Santa didn't exist. I care about when you started to believe, you know, when you became a believer, you know? And so I never had him ever. I had my mom, you know? And I think that even me like having that and then kind of like catching the spirit, if you will, and then also giving it to mom. Like today, mom will be like, no, Christmas is really important. Like watching It's a Wonderful Life annually just helps. It's a net positive in someone's life, you know? And it's like, I don't care if it's about Christmas or whatever. And I was also thinking about, you know, like Rod Serling said that, you know, he tried to write a story about Native Americans and the censors were like, nah, this is just too real or whatever. And then he was forced to, I mean, this is after like he was like in the business, but he was forced to create the Twilight Zone because he said that aliens can say more than Democrats or Republicans. And it's just like, he was just thinking about the fucking point of the story. Like, fuck who says it. Like, if it's a green person and a blue person, then no one's fucking like, oh, we're the bad guys. And it's just, here's like the fucking thing. And I'm like, mom is getting that, or she got that. She felt that, you know, and now she's like, you know, watching Christmas Chronicles and she's just like, oh yeah, like I have faith enough to help lift a sleigh. And again, I think that help lifting the sleigh isn't about the fucking sleigh. It's about watering the forest. You know, I mean, it's about these things that are like, I don't know. I'm going to have to fucking figure out what Christmas means to me, you know? And I think that in me going like, oh, I'm doing this and that, I'm figuring this and that out, and I'm giving this to mom, and then now mom has it, I think that is an element of like raising a parent, you know? Or at least not even that, because I probably should also have some like turn of phrase that suggests the fact that it's not even me raising a parent, but just like someone being at that age, even being open-minded enough to take in new is just incredible, you know? As opposed to like, oh, she's just like the funny lady. And obviously the whole step, every step of the way, just being kind of silly, you know? True, that's such the spirit of the forest and basically ties all the things you talk about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know? Yeah, you know, like that's kind of it. Because I think that mom would also just like in every way, she's only just trying to help. She's just a bit nutty in terms of her approach. And she also, but the thing is too, even about, let's just say if I'm like, oh my God, I want her to write a book, she'd fight me on, I can't for too long. And that's not okay. And a lot of the stuff that I even kind of approach you guys with is me fighting her, being like, you fucking can, motherfucker. You know, and it's like, but like, how do I even say that? But it's also like, it's like, there's this element of like, why not us? Now, you know, that again, she could understand, but it's very hard for her to understand. Even right now, she's like on stage and she's funny on stage and she's great. But then she's just like, I'm not a comedian. I'm just like, what the fuck are you saying that for? Just fucking keep it pushing, bro. Like, there's a difference between thoughts and fucking shit that you say out loud. That's hella funny because I've seen memes saying the Jewish kids and holding it down for not telling all the other kids. That's so funny. That is so funny, dude. My dad was always Santa. Now that's so sick, dude. In Iceland, we have 13. Whoa, dude. What the fuck does that even mean? Their mothers kidnap and eat naughty food. Their fathers just there. Whoa, crazy. Damn, I forgot my headphones. I'm trying to listen while eating. Will you be on for a while? Yeah, for sure. Big Cheese. Don't sweat. And it won't just be like me fucking ranting about bullshit. After some points, the tables turn. Yeah, for sure. Just like she couldn't be an artist. Exactly. Just like she couldn't be an artist. And again, I think that it's like when it comes to like real, like it's like wisdom. Like one thing that we were going to talk about in terms of AI was the difference between smarts and wisdom. And like, it's not the whole thing, but like smarts could kind of be learned in a book and wisdom kind of has to be learned from life kind of thing. I don't really know if I agree with that. I mean, I do, but I think, again, I'd flesh it out a little bit more. But yes, exactly. I mean, I think that like Hans, that's going to be one huge point by the third act, if you will. I don't even think books even work in 3 acts. But anyhow, maybe they do, right? I don't fucking but the fighting about being the artist is like, yes, you're spending your energy on a negative and or on a reality that whatever, like if it's real. I mean, it's like I say about the imposter syndrome, like it doesn't exist to me, because it's like in order for it to exist, you have to fucking consider someone else's opinion towards things, and if you're doing that, then you're losing sight of whatever the work is. But I'm also saying that, like, obviously it exists if it exists to you. And if it exists to you and it's a limitation to you, dude, it's as real as it fucking gets. It's real as fuck. Now, I mean, I'm also just like watching these, like, you know, like whenever I'm like working out, I'm like watching these days, I'm like watching like interviews on Kobe Bryant. He doesn't believe in failure. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, I don't necessarily agree with what he's saying when it comes to it, but I understand where he's coming from regarding it, you know, just like, he doesn't believe in it. And it's like, it's experiences and then it's fucking wins or all of its experiences. And then there's highs and lows and whatever. And so, but it's like, yeah, if you're going to dwell on this thing, like, oh my God, well, what if I fail? Well, then again, it's just, you're just fucking your brains in the negative and whatever. And so again, like, it's also crazy because, again, a lot of the story starts with my dad passing away, and it could have just literally ended there in like such like a fucking gnarly way, truly, where it's just like, oh yeah, cool. Like, I'm a widow and whatever, you know, I'm trying to go to work and then COVID eats my fucking job. But I got to, goddamn it, is hard to believe in yourself. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's also, that's a muscle you have to train, you know? I mean, it's also just like, I'm very lucky that I've been at it for decades now. And I think a lot of it really was like, you know, I mean, me kind of tripping when I was tripping when I was younger about, I remember saying, one second. I think it falls into that headspace where writing a book is something that authors do. She's either never thought herself of an author or thinks too late. Agreed completely, PC. Also, how's it going, man? But yes, completely that, you know? And I mean, we were even talking today and then we've gotten into a fight because I was just like, okay, listen, man, I got a meeting tomorrow. I got to do this and that. And I was just like, okay, can you please listen to me? And then she started talking about her teeth. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm really fucking hurting here, man. It's just like, you think I can fucking write a book, bro? I'm trying to write a fucking book. Like, it's like easy. I'm completely with you. That's totally the case. But now I'm over here being like, motherfucker, I'm not an author, but I'm also telling you, motherfucker, I'm not an author, and I will be for sure. And again, this is like, and I don't think it's like delusional thinking or like actual like Delulu, if you want to make it a little less heavy and cute, but nah, I don't fucking know. It's just like all these motherfuckers who did it were once not it too, or they were it and then it just happened. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever the story is, the story was. I'm just over here being like, okay, cool. Well, like, I'll focus my time for this amount and I will get it done. I'll do the fucking job. I'll do the fucking job, you know? And so, okay, word. So 3 acts. Okay, sounds great. So then I just have to fucking figure out again, this is none of this shit is shit I've ever really come across in my life. But again, I'm like, well, what am I going to, what it's just a matter of learning it, you know? And so, yeah, like it's just also just such a crazy thing because I'm like tripping over these ideas of like my dad, or like, I think I've mentioned, but I will. And also, Hans, if you could throw me some ideas in terms of a Substack, just because, again, I think that I don't know where like open mics are and shit around here, but I do think I want to put some things down and just go out in the fucking world and just like whatever. Like, I also kind of think that like this is a form of like, I mean, I'm live a lot where I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you know, like there's been streams that I felt were very good and streams that I was just like, this was a struggle. And then I just show up again, you know? And so me thinking about even just making like putting it down and the collages of the thing, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going to happen, but also it seems interesting. And it's like, I'm taking in a lot of art. Again, it's like I've said before, it's just like, I'm saying regular. And I think that's a hard thing when it comes to artists, where it's just like, obviously we know like the pretentious dicks we've come across that are like, their diets are very rich and they're constipated completely, you know? And that's a bummer because they look down on people and whatever. And like, the shit is when you're regular, when you're eating well and you're shitting well, you know? And also it's funny too, because there's a lot of people who, you know, a lot of books are written about people whose diets were fucking poor, but they shit on everything. And the shit makes a, you know, I mean, this is also funny because I mean, I've like fleshed this out, but it's also like bullshit. Because I remember Aaliyah mentioned it. Bullshit is bullshit because it doesn't help any, it's just shit. Where like cow shit makes the flowers grow, you know, makes the mushrooms grow. But so I think I'm taking shits, you know, like this, you know, and again, I know it's funny. Or again, it's like, I don't even think that metaphor is funny at all. I think it's just true, but I guess it's like, maybe I'm not going to sit around and say like, that's going to be a fucking joke, but like, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like I have to learn how to punch things up and this and that. And like learning a new skill, I don't think is going to hurt me in the long run. I'm here to watch The Help for it. What's The Help? Lily probably has the ABCs if she switches topics so quickly. Lily probably has the ABCs if she switches topics so quickly. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Ideas on what, or ideas on some? No, just like ones to kind of read and just, or kind of ones to kind of look at. You know what? Oh, ABCs. Yes. Lily probably has the ABCs. Oh, for sure. Oh, come on. Come on. I mean, also another one that I think is just so dead on and funny is just the she's probably 1950s dyslexic. That's different, bro. I'm 90s dyslexia, ADD. What the fuck is it like in the 50s? It's just you pray for them. You know, you just say, oh, they're, you know. I mean, mom said it too. She was just like, hey man, take the ball outside and fucking go play. That's their special ed. You know what I'm saying? 1 second. Kelly Oxford. Kelly Oxford is a writer who, I don't know what happened. I don't know why her shit's blocked, but she's really amazing. And we were friends. We were like acquaintances. And I know she does well on Substack. And I think I'm going to go and hit her up and be like, yo, what are you doing? What do you do? I got to hit up a few stand-ups, but I also got to hit up people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. probably better than like people who are just like seasoned. And I'm like, dude, what am I'm not. But again, it's even that too. It's just like I'm not even fucking comparing myself to them. I don't give a shit. I just want to just get better. NY has, yeah, for sure. I mean, if I was in New York, I would know where to go very fast. I just don't know around here. I also feel like our society is set up to make you doubt yourself. Everything is sold as a product to help you succeed. Without self-doubt, you have no reasons. Yeah, agreed completely. Kev, did Lily get the shit talk from you or your dad? I think, to be honest, she was always kind of like brutally honest. So she had it in her. But she just also wasn't really even in situations where she would be able to shit talk because she just wouldn't go out. You know, she wasn't hanging out, you know? I think a lot of it did come from me bringing her out all the time. And then now she's just like in situations where she could talk under her breath and this and that and kind of bullshit. But between the two of them, they'd go back and forth pretty hard. And then again with me too, I'm just like, we were all straight shooters. They raised me this way. So it's like, you know, you get called out pretty fast. And like, you know, saying piece of shit, those are terms of endearment, you know, like those were just nice. So I think that like all those things combined and then her kind of feeling like I think once she kind of realized that, or once people said that she was funny, then she, I think, had license to kind of think she's funny. But it's also funny. I've been thinking about my life, dude, which is so crazy. I've been thinking about my life, you know? And I was thinking about how there's a few people who are like, you should do this and you should do that and whatever. And then I remember there's some people in my family where like mom kind of started like happening. And then they were like, I always knew. Like, oh, I always knew this. And I'm like, well, if you knew, what the fuck, what were you waiting for then? What the fuck are you doing? It's like, if you think that you have like fucking Don Rickles at the house, push them to do it. You know what I mean? Like, get them to go, you know? What the fuck are you saying? Like, what are you, it's like, I also think that it's so funny. It's like, you know, like, again, thinking about Kobe, like Kobe is like, a lot of the stuff he was saying is like, he wasn't the most athletic. He wasn't the tallest. He wasn't the strongest. He didn't have the biggest hands, whatever, all these things. But he was just like, look, I'll work harder than you. And he was just like, look, you know, like after the practice, I'll fucking rest a little bit and I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and I'll go to practice and then I'll go to bed and then I'll rest a bit and I'll wake up again and then I'll rest a little bit and then I'll go to practice with the rest of the team. And then after it's done, I'll fucking whatever. And he was just like talking about like such this like mundane, boring ass fucking like, I'm just working on the shit that I'm not good at, the fucking fundamentals and games that I'm weak at, but I'm going to put in more time than you. And it's not now. It's not a matter of like, oh, I'm going to catch up with you right now. It's just like, catch me in 5 years and then you won't be able to catch me. And then if you work as hard as I'm working in 5 years from now and I'm this far ahead, in 5 years from there's no way you're going to be catching me. And it's just like, oh my God, that's awesome. You know, it's just like, it's like so fucking boring. You know, it's just like, it's a state of mind, like the mama mentality, if you will. And I'm like, yeah, I just have to do it. You just got to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like one of those like, inspiration is fucking rad. It's like the coolest thing in the world. And like, you got to ride it as hard as you can whenever you get it, but it's for fucking amateurs. Inspiration is fucking bullshit, toy shit. You know, I mean, it's cool. And it really is cool. It's just, it's like winning a lottery ticket. It's winning the lottery. Get the money, chill for a little bit, not even get back to work. But it's like, yeah, when it's like someone showing up on a daily basis, it's hard to fuck with them, you know? Also, also the Help Incredible book, incredible movie. Literally one of my favorite movies, books. It's about black women who were the help in Jackson, Mississippi, who wrote a book about their experience being the help to white women and raised their kids, treated them like shit. Sounds awesome. But in 1950, dyslexia is about spending little Tim into the loony bin. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally, yeah. I mean, talking about shit, not talking shit. Most streams end up talking about talking about shit. Oh no, that's a very new thing. Mom wasn't talking about shit at all. Oh my god! Again, this is what I'm saying. It's just like if it was just a simple, straight up book about mom, with all due respect, if it wasn't from the perspective of right now, it's all fucking boring. And it's all boring. It's not boring. It's not boring because it's just heavy. It's just heavy. It's like the world is after you and you can't trust anyone. And I mean, it's like the blueprint for like the mob, which would also be totally cool. Like it really would be totally cool. But almost in hindsight, the talk about shit is all very now. Like she would just be like, ew, that's gross or something, Like there was a lot of ill. There isn't a lot of ill now, My grandparents shit talk everything. Oh. Yeah, it is work ethic. She also compliments everyone. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yes, I'm thinking I gotta maybe I should just write. I should write like a little proposal and then try to do something. Hopefully, if I get something, and then hold myself accountable with like a Substack. I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, I just feel like. So again, it's just really weird. It's kind of like revisiting all these things in your life. I mean, I think I've mentioned here, but like when the tree fell in our garage, that was insane. That was insane. That was my whole life went under. I mean, it was every single thing I like imagine like every single sentimental thing in my life was under one roof and then a tree fell on it and then the elements started fucking with it, like it was just like rain and it was crazy, and then kind of like really putting into perspective, like what records meant. And on that same breath, like my dad's records meant, you know what I mean? Like how much money, it's like, that's a crazy thing to think at a time when like I'm trying to explain some things to her, kind of, because it wasn't even there yet. But like some of these things are worth more than money, It's a crazy concept, like really like, I mean, it's like fucking, it's biblical shit, you know what I mean? But in the 90s is when dyslexia became officially recognized as a term and it shifted into the zeitgeist of the world. It was now about people, they just processed different, first and foremost. Interesting. Well, because I was also thinking about it today, like I'm thinking about, like I think that I'm going to go into, oh my God, like, oh man, I completely forgot, which is also so funny. But if I ever was like, oh, I don't feel good, I don't want to go to school, even if I was like lying, mom would be like, cool, and it's just like, not even like why cool, but like why? And she's like, what are you gonna be a doctor? It's like, that's fucking, it's like, well, she's not fucking wrong, But yeah, I know Einstein. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing. And I also, regarding Einstein talking about his thought process, I could think of two things at once that I don't have Einstein in me, but I understand Einstein in some ways. And again, I don't think that it's a bad thing per se. I think, but okay. So I was also saying about, I was younger and I was tripping. I really was tripping, like I don't know, ate some mushrooms or something, or brownies or something. But I thought to myself, because there's this one time, and again, I'll probably get into this. And also I'm thinking about the chapter of the book being like the Woodcock Johnson, hilarious, or I think I had cooties. Either way, I think the Woodcock Johnson probably hits harder. But anyhow, I don't, my brains weren't like, it wasn't cool. You know what I mean? It's like now it could be different. It's like a different thing altogether. But like, this wasn't one of those things where like my dad was stoked because like I would be doing things that were just fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And it's not that it's stupid, but it was just like, very simple things that I couldn't do. That was just like reading the instructions to make some fucking brownies. You know what I'm saying? And mom just being like, it's fine, like it's fine, it's nothing. You know what I mean? And so the thing was, I just remembered I was on a trip once, and then my friend and I, it was also just like, like when you go on a trip with anyone, it's like, after day 3 or 4, you really realize some things about them, and things get a little bit, it gets real. It either gets wonderful or it gets fucking real, And I think it was just at a point where it was just like, okay, we're in it too long or whatever. And we were on the way back home, and something was said. I can't really remember, even though I kind of do. And it was like a photo of Tiger Woods. I could probably find the photo too. And I was just like, that's his leg. It was just a photo. It was like, we were like looking at a picture, and I was like, oh, that's his leg. And he was just like, no, that's like it was like an illusion of some sort. He had like there was a bag in front of him and whatever. And this dude was just like, and this is my homie. And he was just like, oh yeah, this is why you're in that special class. And I was just like, probably like nervous laughing a bit, because it's like, what am I going to do? Be like, fuck you, Because it's just like, he won, like at the time, thinking about the limitations of like a kid's mind. It's like, oh yeah, you won because you hit below the belt. And what am I going to do? Say fucking fuck you, And then, a while after, I was tripping, and then I thought to myself, oh my God, like, and again, this is like some fucking like teacher bullshit, teaching it, trying to tell a kid like, oh, you're fine. Oh, they're mean, like after school special shit. But I was just like, to myself, really, like, and it dawned on me, like, no one said it to me, but I was just like, oh my God, like that says more about him being a fucking cunt than it does me and the way I think, like my thought process, And I was just like, yeah, it says more about him than it does about me. And I was just like, yeah. And then I kind of truly realized that I was just like, oh man, it wasn't him that was holding me down. It was me that was holding me down. Like if I just thought that beforehand, then he couldn't kind of get me. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, this fool's a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? And it's not as the total of him. I'm not saying him in general. I'm just like, in this aspect of his life, he's a fucking cunt, And I'm like, oh, cool. So fuck that, whatever. Like, he's just an ass. And now I don't give a fuck. And then I'm just like, oh, cool. So it's like, if he's going to say that shit, I'm just like, oh man, like, oh, fuck this dude, And it just never affected me again, really. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, it could, but, and it was also, that was like fresh, but I also feel like that's at the heart of the prom king theory, where I'm like, oh yeah, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about this nerd. And it's also funny too, because by this point, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm sure he's asking me for some help in terms of some ideas, you know what I mean? Because also, I mean, that even did happen. We were in New York, he moved to New York, whatever. And because it's also just like, yeah, like it's like, oh, having like a different perspective on things doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? As opposed to like getting good grades in school, and it's just like people are kind of looking at things in one way. Again, I'm like, we could all benefit from each other, but I think having like a screwball is not a bad thing. But see, Elisa. Wait, my grandpa had a huge comic book collection, and rats ate them. He's devastated about it to this day. Oh my God. I would be too. I mean, I feel for that story alone. Wait, that makes me think about how I really put a lot of value on things, items, people make me feel a certain way, especially if things make me genuinely happy, nostalgic. Yeah, for sure. Dude, my mom was a nurse. Really? You have Einstein in you. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, to the lake. Wait, that's wild. It's hard not to remember stuff like that, even if you were a kid when it happened. Oh yeah, I mean, that was like burned in me, And I mean, granted, it's like this. It's not. I don't have truly like I don't have any like ill will or anything towards it, because I like learned the lesson from it, And again, the lesson wasn't even about him. Oh my God! Again, I have so many of these things. Like I have so many of those things, and it wasn't bad, but like. I mean, I have that in the opposite too. I mean, I remember this one time, again, especially because I was, I was younger. So I was like, obviously, I mean, like, it's hard to have confidence when at any age, but like I was younger and I was also like in the special class, and so I remember I was quiet until you started talking about like music and shit. And then I would kind of be like, oh, and then some people would really be like, hey, yo, like Kevin knows what's up about whatever, Wu-Tang or whatever. And so I remember this one time we were out and in our, where I'm like in my school district, there was 4 schools and then there was a high school. Everyone went to the same high school. So, but like before then, it's pretty crazy because it's like you could actually have like the fucking meme of like, oh, I have a girlfriend, but she goes to another school. Like you kind of could, like you could know someone who lived across the street and you can kind of go to different schools, even though like each one had their own little district. But it could really happen. And so, so we met people, and so also 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. That was middle school, and then we had 4 school dances. So in middle school, you could go and meet someone. You could meet people from every other school, and then know that you were going to hang out with them in 3 years from now, 2 years from now. And so that happened, and we were just like, I was like at parties and stuff. And then this one time I went to a friend's house, and it was like the cool girls from the school that had the most people who were down to fight. So it was like a cool school and the cool girls. And we were hanging out, and there's a dude who was like, probably, it's like, when the groups have like hierarchies and whatnot, it was like the cool kid in my school. We're talking to the cool kids from this other school, but I was in the cool kid group. And this is, again, elementary school. So, or middle school, I should say. But our middle school and elementary school is kindergarten to 8th. So, yeah, we went to, we hung out and this and that. And the cool girls one of them had an older sister. So they were in high school. So it was like a big deal. I mean, it was just huge, different schools and the high school. And the cool kid in my school was talking to this girl and this and that. And it was like trying to be fucking cool and suave or whatever, how you could possibly be that when you're in 7th grade. And then this girl was just like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing talking to that guy. He's the one. That's the one. This guy. And I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck? Like, what did I do? Like, I never wanted anyone to point a finger at me in any spotlight because I was just like, somehow it's going to get, like, they're going to be like, oh, well, what class are you in? Or, oh, let's play fucking truth or dare or some shit. And somehow reading is going to get brought up. And I was going to be fucking like mortified. And I was just like, oh, no. And they were like, what do you mean? No. Like, you're the guy. And I'm like, and then it all changed. It's just like, and again, nothing changed, but their perspective. But yeah, it was just like, and then I came into fucking, I didn't have to worry, you know what I mean? And it was weird, and it's also just so strange how popularity works, especially at that age. But I was like chosen, and it was weird, and it was cool. And, I also feel like I didn't, like I'm saying, like I didn't take the guy being like, oh, you're in the special class to heart, especially again, like after really tripping. I feel like I think there was a time where I kind of blew some of the doubt out of my mind with stuff, I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't take that to heart or that to heart. You know what I mean? I just said, fuck it, just I fuck with cool people, and cool people are the ones that are just nice. And like, they're like, I'm not like over here being like, someone's going to fucking knight you a cool kid. And then now you officially are. Fuck all that bullshit. Kevin, I sent you 4 Substacks. Hopefully the kind that gives you an idea of what you can do with yours, 2 of which ones I like. Okay, cool. I mean, cause yeah, I also kind of just, I kind of want like a digital diary of sorts. And I think that when it comes to, okay, well, let me ask you this too, Hans. Do you know anyone who writes as opposed to like doing blogs? Where do they share what they're writing? Because I'd be down to share like, okay, I see. I'd be down to share like kind of like samples. I mean, not like samples, but you know what I mean? Like some of the writing. But yeah, I mean, like what? Because I mean, I was also, oh man, I was listening to some music. I told you, like, yeah, my dad. It started the fire. It lit the candle. But Blue Mitchell doing Perceptions, and I was like, I haven't listened to that song in a million years. And I looked at it on like streaming platforms, and it wasn't there. And then I found it on YouTube, and I was taking a walk in the morning, and I listened to it, and I'm like, oh my god, like, fuck. I mean, I must have been like, I don't know, like early high school, maybe 10th grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. And I was done. I was like, this dude blew my mind. Like he suggested, he asked me a question that didn't have an answer besides your opinion. And I've been fucked ever since. I mean, that's the whole point of all this, you know? Because it's like my mom would say yes or no. Like my mom had a sense of society in a way that was like, you can't do this. We don't do this. And also I was thinking about it too, which I think is a big idea, was mom raised me in, she was just like, she was like, she was like I'm going to raise you where the people have money or where there's opportunity. But also she never, ever, I mean, this is insane to really think this day and age, I guess. But like she never thought about the future in any way. She was never like, oh yeah, like I'm going to give you this and let's see what happens and let's adjust. It's just like, I'm going to go to work. You just do your thing. That's it. You know, just like kids having kids, completely insane. Like I think about it all the time. Like, you just let me do anything? That's insane. Like, that's just a crazy way to parent. And so I think, and I say it again as a joke, but I don't think it's a joke. And I was really walking around, tripping on caffeine, and I was like, she's born 47 Yugoslavia. I'm born 84 Los Angeles. We have nothing in common. If I was living in the fucking village she was born in, and I was born in 84, she lived her whole life then, we would have something in common. We don't have anything in common in terms of the foundations of our makeup, besides blood, besides like the household that we live in. Are you kidding? Do you know what? Again, it's like, I think that, I mean, I don't think it's really interesting for like a book, but like I could only imagine that, like, I mean, I've seen it my whole life. Like if I'm ever like, oh, someone's asking me where I'm from, that same trip where that dude was just like, oh, you were in the special class. We were hanging out with some kids and they were like, where are you from? And I was just like, Beverly Hills. And then after, he was just like, don't say that. And I'm like, why? And he was just like, because people are going to think funny of us. And I'm like, that's where we're from. I didn't even understand it. And then immediately, just like me doing the Einstein and me doing math, he was just like, oh yeah, people are going to like think about whatever and talk. And immediately I was just like, my mom broke her back so I could be from Beverly Hills. It's not even about me. It's not about me. It's just about her. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you fucking, you know, like, again, and I'm not over here like arrogantly being like, oh, I was born in Cedar Sinai, but it's just like, this is not about me. This is beyond my fucking, you know, decisions I've made in my life and whatever. And so I was just thinking that alone, I mean, the amount of people who've just kind of like raised an eyebrow whenever I've mentioned where I'm from, I could obviously, some people think that it's very interesting, or it's very like, not interesting, but like, I don't even know what the fuck you would call it. Like, I don't know, like, lame, or I don't know. But the thing is, yeah, like how in the world, if you're going to raise a kid there, do you think you're going to be able to relate to this kid? It's like, I was born in a place where like, yeah, like anything was possible. There's a lot of people who have really gnarly success stories, and a lot of people who are like kids my age that were just first generation American, and parents who just fucking swung for the fences, or, you know. And so it's like, I I'm not nervous around some people while she still is. And I think that even that is a matter of me kind of like raising mom, being like, nah, 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 like you're good. Don't worry. Like, I don't know. Like they're just fucking normal. Like they're normal. I get it. I get it. You might be scary to you, but she probably also just is constantly projecting on, like her life story on it. And then I'm also projecting my life story as we all do. And I'm like, they're not scary, and also who cares? In a lot of cases, they're fucking lamer than most people. You know what I mean? It's like, but so yeah, really like kind of like thinking about we literally come from different worlds, and so I was talking to myself also about like imagine like all this stuff is possible. And also it's funny too, because it's like, I mean, I'm also born in 84 where I'm fucking, TikTok wasn't in the cards, streaming on YouTube wasn't in the cards. Twitch wasn't in the cards. I wanted to shoot film and have museum shows. Not that I'm saying that's out of the picture, but this wasn't in the picture, and I adjusted. And, kind of crazy to start thinking about like, like it's not even like a world where mom was like if she was watching I Love Lucy in America, she wasn't thinking there's a fucking director directing it, or like a writer writing it, like it was production. It was just a TV. It just wasn't real. You know what I mean? The real world was real and that was not real. And so then having a kid who was just like, no, that's hella real. And like, we could do that shit. And it's just like, it's not even like trying to explain that something like, it's like me even suggesting it, I'm a fucking lunatic. I'm a crazy person, But then not only suggesting that it's real, suggesting that we could do it is like, that's insane, dude. Like that is just like, like people like me don't do that shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, people like me do. And I mean, would you rather, again, like, would you rather, and I say it all the time, like, would you rather take me down to your thoughts or would you rather come up to mine? There's just, there really isn't much to really think about. Like you could literally be taking me down the drain with you thinking like, you know what? You're right. There's worlds out there that just they will never accept us. Or being like, well, maybe me too. And it's just like, oh my God. And dude, it's fucking fights. She's stubborn, legitimately. And I'm like, dude, wait up. I know a few people who write, and I've never seen them share anything. One of them wrote poetry book, and another one article writer. They keep it under wraps and help build anticipation. Okay, cool. I got to do anything to oh, I raised myself. I feel it's an accomplishment to turn out okay. Oh my God. Yeah. I remember not even too long ago, because I have a few friends who are great and they're doing well, but like they went through it, and every so often, like mom will like be like, you're crazy, and like mean the shit. And then me kind of like Ashley talking, being like, this could have been so much worse. This could have been so much worse. You let me do anything I wanted. You didn't know where I was. You just dropped me off at the mall, dude. This could have been, it's like, oh my God, you rolled dice and you got lucky, bro. It could have been a lot. Yeah, Ashley, I'm with you. Be proud of the sacrifices your parents made. I'm great. Oh yeah, for sure. The fact that you two came from such different worlds and she's open-minded. Yeah, for sure. I really had to like, how's it going, Cello? I really had to like, it wasn't easy. It's the hardest battle for sure. It'll probably be the hardest battle of my life. And it's also crazy because I think people think it's over. It's like, oh my God, no way. We fought today in the car. Like legit, just like, oh my God, dude. Like, it's like, homie, I'm like going on a journey of writing a book, and I'm going to take it very seriously. And like, hey man, I just need to talk to my mom real quick, and like her just being like, just like not getting it. You know what I mean? Uh, was bummed because I thought I napped through it. No, Cello. Well, mom will be here in a minute too, though. Kev, it's so funny how opposite you and I are. Really? Really? In what way? Oh yeah, friends in similar scenarios to me are doing well. It makes me yeah. I mean, yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it's just yeah. Also, just like life is crazy. It really is crazy. It's like I don't wherever you're from, whatever you come from, what you have, what you don't have. It's just a nutty thing, you know. And yeah, you know, like I I mean, I was thinking about it today, writing like both my parents left their parents, you know? It's like they bounced, and it's like I could be like a nuisance to whatever extent, but it's like I'm fucking here. That's wild into itself, you know? And again, I'm not over here being like, "Oh my god, pat me on the back." Nah, not at all, but I'm just saying that like yeah, I mean, like I played with some fire for sure, you know, and now I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I want to write a book about our story, and I'm trying to work out every day and like take walks and chew caffeine gum to kind of like focus my thoughts. It's like, oh man, I really that's success, you know, like my health is doing better than it's been, and oh my god, it's like this is what success looks like. Again, compared to like yeah, there's some people who it's just now on like an even ground because of all the ups and downs, and it's like ooh, you know, like I just wish them the best. That's all I could kind of say. You had no chains around you growing up. I grew up in chains. Oh, I see. Sometimes I wonder who I would be if without the chains. Yeah, well, I also yeah, I mean, yeah, my story is funny, you know, because it's also like I think truly too, and one of the things that'll be kind of like wrapped up in the third act, if you will, is the my folks created a monster, and that's why we're here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if I just listened to mom and I was just like, oh yeah, we don't do those kind of things, no one would know who she is. No way in the world, you know? It's like uh yeah, you know, like I mean, I remember even watching Ken Burns jazz documentary, and um Duke Ellington's mom told him, you know, you're beyond category. And a funny thing happens when you tell kids things like that, they believe them. And Duke Ellington was beyond category, man. Duke Ellington is fucking Duke motherfucking Ellington. And uh and again, like respectfully not I mean, again, because it's like I'm where I am, so I can kind of look back and be like, oh, it's fine however I was raised. But it's like if I listened to mom, no way. No way, dude. I'd be packing boxes. I'd be working at Amazon. And granted, not maybe Amazon, but it was like it would be her store. And if I'm not dead serious, it's like if I think she had a year free rent during lockdown. And then I think it was about, I'll ask her, but I think it was about 6 months or so, 8 months or so, where they were like, give me rent, but we'll lower it. But she also she couldn't work. I mean, it was like borders were closed, so she could not go to work. She was just like, listen, I'm not going to pay you where I can't work. There's no way I'm going to do that. And the dude was there until a certain amount and was just like, I'm sorry, I can't let you stay here. And then she was just like, all right. And then could you imagine my mom, no work, no store? I mean, that was her whole life. That was it. She wanted to sleep there. So it's like, I bring this up to say, if I was just doing the family business, I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing right now. There's no way. There is nothing. I mean, there's nothing. What would there? What? You know, like no words could even come out of my mouth. They're just fucking sound effects, you know? It's like, I mean, because I wouldn't know any better. And I wouldn't also, I would have never had a boss, you know? It'd be, I mean, I would probably have to kind of like think about how to get clothing wholesale somewhere, but I'd also probably think that like I would be like Amazon's about to kill us, you know? But I also probably think I wouldn't be thinking creatively at all. So I might have just been like, all right, well, fucking, I don't know. I don't know what to do, which is just so insane, you know? Things were for sure opposite from me, but not crazy strict. But sometimes my parents are confused or get nervous when my brother and I have dealt with life things in different ways than they did. Oh my God. Well, that's another big one because I think that a lot of like the points of contention between mom and or my parents and I were because again, it's also very mom. Like she was like on some again, it's like on some like learning or smarts compared to wisdom, where I'm like, my mom would have been like, listen, do not play with fire. Like the answer to number one on the test is B. Move on. It's B. Don't fucking play with fire. That's it. It's B. Move on. Never think about it. It's over. But you have to learn it on your own. You know, you have to learn it from experience, you know? And so it was like my parents were kind of almost mad at my math. My answers were the same as theirs, you know, but they were like, bro, I told you. And obviously that's very like parent, child, whatever. But mom just really, I think that one thing about her and us is she would have done anything for me. And she was just like, well, you have to listen to me, believe me blindly. And that is going to be the end of the deal. That's the deal. Like, I'll do anything for you. You don't talk back. And not even talking back, but like, you just listen to me. And I was like, oh my God, no, your life is fucking boring. I mean, with respect, no disrespect, but it's just like, fuck that. No way, are you kidding? Like, I'm fucking alive and I'm not going to live. There's no way in the fucking world. Get out of my face. And again, it's funny because it's like now she's in my world more than I'm in her world. And it's funny because it's like her world is very like, her world benefits from mom being in my world. And I'm not even saying, again, it's not even saying me. I'm just, it's like her talking to you guys. You know what I mean? Because it's like, this is, you know, it's like every so often I kind of feel bad because I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, look at me. But I'm like, this being here, mom talking to you guys. Now, if mom's on stage talking about AI in any regard, like her just like knowing what it is, her going back and talking to like some of her peers, they're like, what are you saying? You Looney Tune, you know, it's just like, how do you even know what you're talking about? Like she's talking about streaming and just today, she's alive right now, you know? And I was also thinking about it too. It's so crazy that there really are lots of people out there that are really living. There's a few living in the fucking 70s still. There's a few living in the 80s still. There's a few living in, I really like, I know a lot of people still living in the 90s, early 2000s. They really are. They really, 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 really are. And it's a weird idea, you know, where it's just like there are people who are like living their lives right now when it's their best lives, because they're probably going to get older and thinking about like, oh yeah, but like they're on top of the world because their looks maxing or whatever the fuck. And like whatever the hell that looks like in 20 years from now, being like, fuck, 2026 was a sick one. Crazy. And I think that I'm really just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just on the lazy river of life. Where do you think you'd be if you never pushed back and ever lived square as fuck and working downtown somehow? Or probably like trying to figure out like a funny business with like one of my friends I grew up with, and literally kind of hoping for the best. Because again, I don't have school to fucking fall back on. I don't have an education. It's a crazy thing to really say, but it's true. I do not have an education. Dude, I remember there was a time, I'm going to try to find it. I think I can actually find it. But I was in line to write a graduation speech. And I was on the soccer team. And the soccer team, all the smart kids, I guess, played soccer and tennis for whatever reason. And I was on the soccer team. And so a lot of my friends were smart kids, like gate kids, I guess, whatever the fuck that means. Because also now I'm like seeing all these like conspiracies on gate kids being like, whatever the fuck, who cares? One of the dude's moms saying the scumbag piece of shit because so one of the dude's moms was like the head of the special ed department, like the big dog over there. And there was normally like a big dog and then there's like a principal and like vice principals and shit. Anyhow, I had a homie, one of my principals, and they called them case carriers. My case carrier was cool. She was sick. She's my friend. And she encouraged me, she was just like, she just gave me like yeah, man, you could do it. Like, what the fuck? What's the difference, between you and someone who's fucking going to fucking Harvard, True. And so, and I think I say true in a fucking graduation speech. You know what I mean? I don't know. This dude could be going off and doing amazing things and whatever the fuck. I'm just saying that like for the role we're trying to get, I'm saying like, yeah, what's the difference, And kind of long story long. I mean, I'm not good at any short stories, but the head who knew me and was talking to my case carrier was just like, yo, why are you setting this kid up for failure? Like, it's not going to happen, And she kind of behind her back told me, and I was just like, oh, fucking lame, I mean, it really didn't affect me because I was just like, I mean, oh my God, wow, like some dude's mom doesn't believe me. Like, of course, it's a given, but yeah, I think that it's like, she suggested that because I didn't have anything to fall back on. I didn't go to school. I didn't do this shit. I don't have anything. It's just like, I barely have, like I have a high school education, but it's just like, it's one of those, like, just let him walk the fucking, like, let's pretend he went to fucking school. I mean, dude, the worst math class of the school was like math A. And then I think it was algebra. I was below math A. I think it was like, and again, it wasn't even like I was so bad at anything. I just was like, okay, cool. Like if I could get away with not doing anything and I could keep on passing, I'm not going to do shit, homie. But again, I think that, I don't even think, I just know that it's like regarding a work ethic and me down to embarrass myself in terms of humbling myself on stage and being vulnerable and telling, my story and having mom on my side as like the best wingman. All the things I learned in school in terms of music and this and that, like I'm going to be an author, it's like, and also granted too, and which as I was writing earlier, it's different. It's like, I'm not a 90s author. It's like, that's a dying thing unto itself where like no one, they'll listen to me right now because they're looking for anything And I'm also living in my life right now. I am alive this moment where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm not thinking TikTok wasn't in the cards, but because of TikTok, now these people are taking me seriously and I'm not going to fucking not walk through doors that are open for me. And on that same breath, I mean, like I open them too. You know what I mean? It's like, it's also funny because it's like, we did this. That's another reason why I get so defensive when some people kind of try to take advantage of like, people looking at you as numbers. It's like, nah, man. It's like they found this funny or they found this insightful and then we're doing this and then you're trying to capitalize on this. So now pay some fucking respect, show some fucking respect because it's like we could do this without you, And then, but again, it's just like there's no way a fucking publisher would be looking at us if it wasn't for fucking TikTok, And again, I'm not delusional. I'm over here being like, I'm fucking Voltaire or like fucking Victor Hugo. I'm just like, oh no, but I mean, like we got a story in us that'll probably resonate with people today. Hey man, I'm so glad she's enjoying herself now, and it doesn't don't go that way. For yeah, I know. I feel like you'd be married to someone you don't like and have 3 kids. That could probably be true too, for real. Um, I don't have school to fall back on either, and sometimes I low key panic, but I get to trade. I mean, you could also learn a lot. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy time. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know what to say. You could learn a lot, and you could. I mean, I think it's like the best time to kind of not get into anything, but like you could probably do a lot of things that if you're really like ambitious about, you can kind of get into. But I'm with you. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. You shifted Lily's timeline. If it wasn't for you, she could easily be one of those people who live in the 90s. Oh, yeah, for sure. Not even in the 90s. I'm sure she'd be a lot more conservative and be like, if she saw someone with a tattoo, she'd be like, oh, they're probably drug addicts or something, where it's just like, homie, what? You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I also feel like it's like the pushing back and kind of like the fighting between the two of us really does keep her young in a way, or at least her mind from going to complete who knows, you know what I mean? Math is the reason I dropped out of college. I get it, man. I'm in math in everyday life class, easiest class ever. I'm in A math in everyday. What's everyday life class? I had an everyday life class. I was like the worst, wildest class. They treated us like we didn't know how to fucking tie our shoes. It was pretty wild. But also, it's kind of like, yeah, dude, this is so weird. Really, I'm like reflecting on my whole entire life. It's pretty crazy. My mom took basic math 3 times, and the third time she got a C, and that was with a tutor. It's hard. Yeah.
There's pictures there.
Restarting algebra 5 times until I finally passed with a C. The struggle is real, for real. Math was ass high school for me, was ass aside small handful of things. Sure, kid, and me too. I mean, the only thing I had was photography. That's it. Okay, yo, guys, it's 5:20. I'll see you guys on Mom's stream. Well,
Okay.
we'll stream on Mom's in 1 minute.
In a few minutes.
In a few minutes. We'll see
Yeah.
you guys in a minute.
In a
Thanks.
minute.
See ya.